This unsettling clip has recently surfaced online, showing a disturbing phenomenon at a hotel facade. The original source is unknown, but whatever it captures has left viewers genuinely confused. In the footage, a face appears behind the glass of a room that should be empty. It was supposed to be a routine day in the neighborhood, but what the camera captured has left people in the area deeply unsettled. No one has been able to explain what was seen, and no clear name has been given to it.
Irma me dijo que se veía una persona en la habitación 30 y le dije no, y me dice, ¿está ocupada? Le digo no, se desocupó en la mañana y no hay nadie. Yo misma fui a ventilar esa habitación y ahorita que voy pasando por acá me doy cuenta que sí es cierto, se ve como que alguien se estuviera asomando en la ventana. Vamos a ver qué es lo que pasa, vamos a ver qué hay ahí, pero se supone que no hay nada y sigue ahí viéndose. Aquí más cerquita. Sí, miren, ahí se alcanza a ver una cara, unos ojos. Vamos a ver a esa habitación. Estamos subiendo las escaleras porque desde ahí es donde estábamos viendo que se veía. Aquí ya no se ve nada, a lo mejor por el reflejo de la luz. Y vamos a ver en la habitación. Aquí está la cama, porque esta es una habitación pequeña. Aquí pues no se ve nada. Y aquí está la tele, donde estábamos, donde se supone que se veía, pero no se ve nada. No entiendo por qué se ve. ¡Ah! ¡Ay!
Some believe this is a lingering presence tied to the history of the building, specifically because of the pale features visible in the window. Others argue it is just a guest who was checked in, but management insists the room was vacant at the time. Skeptics also point out that reflections on glass can create pareidolia, where the mind perceives faces in random patterns. However, the positioning and the way it seems to watch the person filming is hard to dismiss as a simple reflection. Could this be a protective spirit or something far more dangerous? In paranormal lore, entities are said to express themselves by appearing briefly to draw attention. The more you watch, the more it feels like it's noticing you back. This leaves us with a lingering feeling of unease that doesn't go away once the clip ends. Let me know in the comments if you've ever seen a face in a window where no one should be. Does the history of a building always stay within its walls, or does it eventually reveal itself to the living? I'll be waiting for your theories in the comments section. This video comes to us from a security setup overlooking a gated parking entrance. It was supposed to be a routine night, quiet and uneventful. But the night has a way of hiding details until a lens reveals what we often miss in real time. If you discovered something unexplained lingering on your street, what would you do? Many viewers believe that some things simply refuse to stay unseen. As the car approaches, pay close attention to the roof. What follows is a presence that has left investigators genuinely baffled. Some viewers believe this is a full-bodied apparition, specifically because of the way the figure seems to manifest on the vehicle as it slows down. The silhouette is unnerving, lacking clear definition while retaining a human form. Others argue that this is a clever hoax or a trick of light. Skeptics also point out that digital compression and low light often create artifacts that can be misinterpreted as shadows. They suggest it could be a person who climbed on off-camera, though the movement makes this theory difficult to sustain. There is also the possibility of a reflection from the interior of the guard post, yet the angle doesn't quite align. This leaves the footage in a state of unsettling ambiguity. Is it a hitchhiker from the other side or just a glitch? The lack of a clear exit for the figure only adds to the mystery of the encounter. What do you think about this phantom? Have you ever seen something on a car that shouldn't be there? Let me know down in the comments what your theory is on this strange recording. The investigation continues, but for now, this case remains unsolved. Late one night, a staff member working the late shift experienced something that made her freeze. Working in a hotel often means dealing with empty corridors and silent halls, but sometimes the quiet is broken by something impossible. Static cameras were installed throughout the property to ensure safety, but they ended up capturing something that disturbed the guard enough to share the footage. In this recording, a regular trip in the elevator takes a terrifying turn as a presence makes itself known.
I'm sorry. No, we're not going to the second floor. No. No. Push, 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 push. Oh, hell no! Hell no! Hell no!
Some viewers believe this is a full-bodied apparition, specifically because the figure in the reflection doesn't match the movements of the person inside. Others argue it's just a camera artifact or a trick of the mirrors. Skeptics point out that mirrors and glass can act like thin barriers where entities appear briefly without fully entering the physical space. They also suggest it could be a clever edit, yet the reaction of the staff member seems genuinely panicked. When things like this happen in places tied to the public, it raises questions about who else might be sharing the space. Is it a residual echo of a past guest or an intelligent interaction? Whatever caused the scream that night remains a mystery that still hasn't been explained. The quiet is never really quiet in buildings with this much history. What do you think about this elevator encounter? Let me know down in the comments if you've ever felt like you weren't alone in an enclosed space. The line between reality and the unknown is thin. Those were just the first 3 anomalies of the night. From a phantom hitchhiker to faces in vacant windows, the evidence is mounting. If you're enjoying Pale Playback, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss an investigation. We release new evidence every single week. Now steel yourselves because the next clip takes us inside a home where the activity is no longer subtle. Daniel works rounds at a medical facility where every sound feels louder than it should. He says that for weeks, one specific door has been opening and closing on its own during his shifts. At first, he blamed air pressure or faulty hinges because that is what a rational person does before accepting nightmare logic. But it kept happening in the same way at the same time, night after night. Eventually, he got tired of explaining it away and decided to record the hallway to capture the proof. Some believe this is an intelligent entity showing its presence, specifically because the motion of the door is smooth and deliberate. Others argue air pressure changes caused by the ventilation system in a large building are the most likely culprit. Skeptics point out that doors in older facilities are prone to drafts that can pull them shut. However, the timing with Daniel's presence suggests a response to being watched. It didn't slam. It was almost controlled, as if someone unseen was finishing the job. Staff checked the area the next morning and found nothing wrong with the mechanism. Since then, Daniel says he avoids that corridor whenever he can because whatever is opening that door seems to know exactly when he is there. The uncertainty of what lies behind that closed door is enough to keep anyone on edge. What do you think about this medical center mystery? Is it just airflow, or is someone still trying to keep the room secure long after they've passed? Share your version in the comments below. Michael Tisdale and his wife purchased an old home that dates back over a century. Within the first week, they heard movement upstairs. Heavy footsteps and slow pacing at the top of the stairs. At first, they tried to explain it away with the house settling or humidity causing the wood to shift, but the sounds kept happening night after night. Michael decided to stop guessing and investigate with his phone. What he found waiting in the dark corridor is something that still unsettles him today.
Pues seamos sinceros, ¿no? Todos venimos a ver pues si pasa algo. La neta, ¿no? Pues venimos al morbo. Y si yo prendo la luz, pues obviamente se van a dar cuenta de mis paleros, ¿no? De mis actores. No, lo que pasa es que ya les había dicho, pareciese que cuando no hay luz y pongo nada más poquita luz, una, pues lo que busco es que dé más el aspecto de terror. Y dos, pues pareciese que lo que sea que se anda apareciendo aquí pues se alimenta como de oscuridad, no sé, ¿no? De hecho eso fue lo que ustedes pusieron, no yo. Es por eso, ¿no? Pero bueno, al final del día, como yo les digo, ¿no? Si no lo quieren creer, está chido, ¿no? No tengo ninguna bronca. Si escuchaban les digo voces, pero... ¡Ay, su puta madre!
Some viewers believe this could be a full-bodied apparition, specifically because the home has witnessed generations of history within its walls. If whatever once lived there doesn't know that time has passed, it may simply be repeating its old routine. Others argue it's a trick of light and shadow caused by the flashlight. Skeptics point out that in a dark house, any movement can be misinterpreted as something paranormal. But the way the figure stands, motionless at the top of the stairs, is enough to make anyone's skin crawl. Was this just a fleeting echo, or is something still occupying the upstairs hallway? Long after the original owners have gone, the house remains active. Michael hasn't been able to find a logical explanation for the shadow he captured. This leaves more questions than answers. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this historic haunting. Do you believe spirits repeat routines, or is it just our minds playing tricks in the dark? In this next clip, a man records a video because he's run out of explanations for what's been happening inside his house, strange movements and reflections that don't match reality. He often feels like he isn't alone, even when the doors are locked. Some believe mirrors and glass can act like thin barriers between our world and another. A human-shaped figure can be seen moving in reflective surfaces, especially mirrors. Watch carefully as he moves through the debris of the abandoned rooms looking for answers.
オーナー男性って言ってたでしょ。うん。これどう考えても離れってもうオーナー宅じゃない？っていう。確かにね。うん。ただちょっとお互いその見つけた部屋を調査す。何の音今の？ん？え？何の音？
どうした？どうした？もしもし？
誰？
誰？
え？え？
どうした？
誰かいますか？大ちゃんちょっと待ってね。
大丈夫？
すみません。
Some viewers immediately recognize the source of the unease. The movement in the mirror doesn't match his position, and there's no one else in the house. This suggests something is passing through or already inside the physical space. Others argue it could be a simple reflection of a person behind the camera or a staged hoax involving costume. Skeptics point out that in high-contrast environments, light can bounce in ways that create humanoid silhouettes. However, the timing of the movement and the way the form disappears is hard to rule out. Whatever it is, its repeated appearances suggest it could be feeding on the energy of the household. Protective objects are often used to cleanse spaces, but in this case, the activity seems to have intensified. I'll let you be the judge. Is this a protective spirit doing its work or something far more dangerous? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. The quiet is never really quiet when mirrors are watching you. We've seen doors closing on their own, shadows on the stairs, and figures in the mirrors. The investigation is far from over. If you're enjoying Pale Playback, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss an update. We bring you the most unsettling evidence every single week. Now, steel yourselves because our final 2 clips for tonight might be the most disturbing ones yet. Travel with F usually documents a quiet life on the road, but recently he posted something very different. Static cameras were installed throughout an old warehouse that's currently under renovation. Late one night, one of those cameras captured something that disturbed the guard enough to send the footage directly to F. In the recording, what appears to be a head slowly peeks out from behind a doorframe, watching the empty hallway with glowing eyes.
They hang out and dwell around graveyards. And you know the story on that, right? When Mike hired those 2 native spiritual people to come here and do their stuff, he said it's not the hotel that's haunted, it's the graveyard.
Oh.
So this service road here where Danny and I used to park, that's the old Stony Plain Road. Do you really think when they dug up all the bodies here, that was a good one?
Some viewers believe this is a genuine entity haunting the warehouse, specifically because of the way the eyes seem to glow in the darkness. Others argue it could be a person who broke into the building, despite the guard's insistence that it was locked. Skeptics point out that static cameras can produce light artifacts that look like eyes. However, the movement of the head as it retreats is fluid and intentional. The guard admits he has no explanation for what was caught on the static lens. Could it be a lingering presence from the building's past? What do you think is hiding inside that old warehouse? Let me know in the comments. The night has a way of revealing the things we usually miss. Kyle had finally had several quiet days in his home. He started to believe the activity had passed and that maybe it really was over. But as anyone who deals with the paranormal knows, the quiet is never really quiet. It's often just waiting for the perfect moment to show itself again. Kyle decided to leave his camera recording to see if he could catch any fleeting echoes of what had come before. What follows is the moment his skepticism finally reached its breaking point.
Première vidéo. Putain, c'est quoi ce délire? Putain, c'est quoi ce délire? Putain, c'est quoi? Putain.
Some viewers think the movement was a response to Kyle's presence in the house, specifically because of the sudden jerking motion. Others argue that vibrations from outside could cause objects to shift, but the force seen here is hard to replicate naturally. Skeptics point out that small disturbances can grow more confident the longer they are acknowledged. This pattern is often seen in cases of intelligent interaction. Whatever is in his home doesn't just go away. It lingers in the tight areas, waiting for recognition. Kyle knows better than anyone that the silence is a lie. What do you think about this household? That concludes our investigation for tonight. We've seen a phantom hitchhiker, faces in vacant windows, and shadows that seem to have a mind of their own. The line between reality and the supernatural is often thinner than we'd like to admit. Whether these are clever hoaxes or genuine glimpses into the unknown, I'll let you decide. The evidence presented tonight leaves us with more questions than answers, reminding us that the night always has a way of hiding the truth until the right lens catches it. Thanks for watching Pale Playback. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell for weekly evidence. What was the most unsettling clip for you tonight? Was it the figure in the elevator or the eyes peeking from the warehouse door? Let me know your theories down in the comments below. Your perspective helps us build the story and piece together the evidence. Until next time, keep your eyes open and stay safe. The unknown is closer than you think.